Let's talk about something most people don't admit, especially the smart ones. You've done all the right things. Maybe you crushed school. Maybe you've got a decent job. People say you're talented, driven, capable. On paper, you're someone who should have it all figured out. And yet, you feel stuck, unfulfilled, confused, maybe even like a fraud. And you're wondering, why do I still feel lost when I've done everything I was supposed to do? You're not broken. You're not failing. You're just finally hitting the part of life nobody teaches you how to navigate. And guess what? Most smart people hit it quietly, alone, and then blame themselves for feeling this way. So let's talk about it. Because this feeling, it's not a flaw, it's a signal. 1. You were taught to be impressive, not aligned. From a young age, smart people are praised for results. Good grades, gold stars, achievement. You learn how to be excellent, but not necessarily how to be aligned with yourself. You're taught to chase what looks good on paper, not what feels right in your gut. So you follow the path. Go to the right school, pick the practical major, get the job that makes sense, climb the ladder, collect accolades, and you do it. But eventually you hit a moment where success feels strangely empty. You're achieving, but not connecting. You start asking, is this it? What's the point? Why doesn't this feel like enough? That confusion isn't failure, it's your deeper self trying to get your attention. Because smart doesn't equal fulfilled, and achievement doesn't guarantee meaning. Sometimes the hardest thing to admit is that the ladder you've been climbing is leaning against the wrong wall. 2. You turn everything into a problem to solve. Smart people are excellent problem solvers. But here's the twist. When life gets uncertain, they start treating themselves like a problem that needs fixing. You feel off. You try to analyze it, break it down, optimize it. You think, maybe I need to change careers. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. Maybe I just need to figure out what's wrong with me. But some things aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be felt, lived, understood. You don't get clarity by obsessing over every possibility. You get clarity by slowing down enough to hear yourself think, underneath the noise. You're not a machine that needs fixing. You're a person who's outgrown the life they built, and that's not failure. That's transformation. 3. You're good at everything, but unsure what to commit to. If you're smart, chances are you're decent at a lot of things. You can learn fast, adapt fast. You've got options. But options don't always feel like freedom. Sometimes they feel like a trap. Because when you have too many directions you could go, choosing one feels terrifying. What if I pick the wrong one? What if I waste my potential? So you wait. You overthink. You hope clarity will show up. But here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. You don't find your path by waiting for certainty. You find it by exploring, by committing to something real, even if it's messy. Smart people want guarantees, but growth doesn't come with a warranty. You want to feel less lost. Start building, not just thinking. 4. You've been rewarded for performance, not presence. Being smart often means being efficient, productive, capable. You've been trained to deliver results, to be ahead of the curve, to do more with less. But there's a cost to that. You forget how to just be. You're always doing, planning, producing, proving. And when life slows down, when there's no test to ace or deadline to chase, you feel empty, office anxious, because you've wrapped your identity around output. Here's the shift. You don't have to earn your right to rest. You don't have to measure your worth by productivity. The smartest people I know aren't the busiest. They're the most present. They know when to act, and they know when to pause. Don't let your brain trick you into believing stillness equals weakness. 5. You think being lost means you're behind. This is a big one. Smart people are used to being ahead, so when they hit a period of uncertainty or transition, it feels like failure. You look around and suddenly everyone else seems to be thriving, starting companies, getting married, traveling, figuring it out. And you're staring at the ceiling wondering what any of this means. But comparison is a liar, and timing is personal. You're not behind, you're becoming. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're losing. It means you've stopped living someone else's idea of success. And you're starting to figure out your own, and that takes time. Real clarity grows in silence. Let it. 6. You don't talk about it, so it grows in the dark. Smart people are often seen as the strong ones. You're the one others lean on, the one with good advice, the one who always seems to have it together. So when you feel lost, you keep it quiet. You think, I should be past this. No one would understand. This is embarrassing. So you isolate, smile through it, keep producing. But underneath it all, you're exhausted. Let me say this clearly. You don't have to carry it alone. You don't have to pretend you're fine. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of support. Talk to someone. Say it out loud. Write it down. Get it out of your head and into the world. Because what you don't express will suppress. 7. What to do next? If you're smart and still feel lost. First, breathe. Seriously, this isn't a sign you've failed. It's a sign you've outgrown a version of yourself, and you're on the edge of something new. Now, start with this. 1. Let go of needing the perfect plan. You don't need a 5-year vision, you need one clear next step. 2. Commit to something small, consistently. Action breeds clarity. Don't wait to feel ready. 3. Reconnect with curiosity. Ask what interests you, not just what impresses others. 4. Take breaks without guilt. Your brain doesn't need more input, it needs space. 5. Get around real people, not just smart people, people who make you feel seen. 6. Redefine what success means to you, not your parents, not your LinkedIn feed. You. 7. Stop chasing answers, start building alignment. Who you are when no one's watching, that's the version that needs your attention. 8. Smart doesn't mean satisfied, and that's okay. This might sound strange, but one of the biggest lies smart people believe is this: if I'm good at something, I should enjoy it. But that's not always true. You might be great at your job and still feel empty. You might get praised all the time and still feel unseen. You might hit your goals and feel nothing at all. Why? Because talent doesn't always equal alignment. You can be good at something that drains you. You can succeed at a game you were never supposed to play. You can live a life that looks right and feels wrong. That's not your fault. That's conditioning. But now you know. And once you see it, you can choose differently. Satisfaction doesn't come from proving how smart you are. It comes from building a life that speaks to who you are, even if it looks different, even if it takes longer, even if it makes no sense to anyone else. 9. You confuse thinking with progress. Let's be honest, smart people think a lot. You can map out 20 different scenarios before lunch. You can see 5 layers deep into every what if. And your brain, it never really turns off. But here's the trap. Thinking feels like doing. So you stay in your head, running simulations, weighing options, replaying conversations. You convince yourself you're making progress, but really, you're just circling the drain. You don't need more analysis, you need movement. Progress doesn't happen in your head, it happens in your actions. So pick one thing, try it, fail at it, learn from it, adjust. Smart doesn't mean paralyzed. You don't need to outthink your way to clarity, you need to act your way into it. 10. You forgot that it's okay to redefine everything. Here's something they never say out loud. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to realize that the thing you wanted at 22 isn't what you want now. But smart people often trap themselves in expectations. I can't switch paths. I've come too far. What will people think? What if I fail again? And yet, staying stuck in a life you've outgrown isn't loyalty. It's self-abandonment. Redefining your life doesn't mean starting over. It means stepping into a version that's actually aligned with who you've become. So ask yourself, who am I now, not who I was? What matters to me today, not 5 years ago? And let that version lead. Because nothing is more powerful than a smart person who's finally honest with themselves. Final words, you're not lost, you're being recalled. Think about this. What if this feeling of being lost isn't about drifting away, but about being pulled back? Back to your gut, back to your values, back to the version of you that existed before the world told you what to chase. You're not lost. You're being recalled, to yourself, so stop rushing to escape the feeling. Sit with it, learn from it, and slowly start choosing what feels real again, because the goal was never to be the smartest person in the room. It was to be the truest version of you and build a life that feels like yours. You're on the way. Trust it.